How many times have you found yourself wishing for a better life, but not really doing anything to achieve it? You look around and see people moving forward, while you feel like you're stuck in the same place. The truth is harsh, but it needs to be said. If you continue to be the same, your life will continue to be the same. Change requires effort, sacrifice, and, above all, responsibility. The problem is that many people believe that they are victims of circumstances, trapped in a reality that they cannot change. But what if I told you that this idea is just an illusion? You have the power to transform your life, but to do so, you need to face the truth head-on. In this video, we'll talk about the mistakes that keep you stuck, the fears that paralyze you, and how to break out of stagnation to finally achieve what you want. But first, I'll ask you a question. Are you really willing to change, or would you rather keep fooling yourself? Stop blaming your boss, your parents, the economy, or bad luck. As long as you place the responsibility on others, you continue to be a hostage to circumstances. The truth is that your life is where it is because of your choices. The first step to any transformation is taking control. This doesn't mean that everything will be easy, but it does mean that from now on, guilt is no longer a shield. You are the only one responsible for changing your reality. Accepting this may hurt at first, but it is liberating. If your life is far from what you want, look inside. What have you been doing to change? Are you really trying, or are you just wishing things would get better? Action generates results, and until you take control, nothing will happen. The question that remains is, would you rather keep complaining or finally decide to do something about it? If you notice that you always face the same rejections, perhaps the problem is not out there, but inside you. It is difficult to accept that our failures can be the biggest obstacles to our success, but that is the truth. Cowardice, lack of social skills, procrastination, or even fear of failure can all be holding you back without you realizing it. The world will not stop to give you what you want. You need to become someone capable of achieving it. The secret is not to blame yourself, but to observe yourself honestly. What are the weaknesses that are preventing you from moving forward? If you avoid challenges, lack discipline, or feel stuck in decisive moments, then it is clear where you need to improve. Learn new skills, strengthen your mindset, and face your shortcomings head-on. Change happens when you stop running away and start shaping yourself to be the person who deserves to win. How many times have you made an important decision and then acted against it right after? You say you want to improve, but you keep repeating habits that destroy you. This is self-sabotage. You feel bad about your bad choices, promise to change, but the next day you do it all over again. It is as if you are stuck in a vicious cycle where failure has become a habit. The worst part? You are digging this hole yourself. And then comes the frustration. Why doesn't anything change in my life? Simple, because you don't act differently. Wanting success is not the same as working for it. As long as you remain committed to making excuses, nothing will happen. You need to become someone who keeps their promises to themselves. The question is, how long will you betray yourself before you decide you deserve more? Fear is the greatest thief of opportunities. It whispers that you are not good enough, that you will fail, that people will judge you. And you believe it. But what if fear was not a signal to stop, but rather an invitation to move forward? The problem is not feeling fear, it is natural. The problem is letting it paralyze you. The more you avoid facing your challenges, the more hostage you become to your own mind. Furthermore, if you do not accept yourself, you will always find reasons to hide. You become your own enemy, sabotaging your chances before you even try. Self-acceptance is the first step to breaking this cycle. Stop fighting who you are and start empowering yourself. You don't have to be ready to start, but you do have to start to become who you want to be. So, will you keep running away or will you finally face the truth? If your desire is not greater than your fear, you will never get anywhere. Success doesn't happen by chance. It's achieved by those who have an insatiable appetite for change. You have to want it so much that you're willing to face any obstacle, to sacrifice whatever is necessary. But the question is, are you really hungry for victory or are you just comfortable with the idea of wanting more without taking action? The pursuit of your dreams should be your greatest source of energy. When you have a clear purpose, motivation comes naturally. The problem is that many people just want it, but aren't willing to pay the price. Those who truly want something make it happen, regardless of the fatigue, the difficulties, or the time it takes. What motivates you? If the answer is weak, perhaps it is time to redefine your priorities. Have you ever caught yourself saying, "I don't know if I can do it," or "what if it doesn't work out?" These doubts make you believe that you have no control over your life, but this is a lie you tell yourself. The only thing you really control is your attitude. You can't decide what happens around you, but you can choose how you react. Until you accept this truth, you will continue to be at the mercy of circumstances. If you don't commit to controlling your actions, you will always be lost. Life will not give you anything for free. Either you take control of your destiny or you will be guided by factors you did not choose. Control is in your hands, but it takes courage to use it. What are you going to do with it? Keep waiting for something to change or finally decide to make it happen? You say you want to change, but you keep putting off your promises. The problem is not a lack of time, resources, or opportunities. It is a lack of commitment to yourself. Every time you give up before trying, every time you promise something and don't deliver, you are sending a clear message to your own brain: I don't deserve to win. And this lack of self-respect becomes a vicious cycle. If you don't take your own goals seriously, why should the world? Success requires commitment, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Being committed doesn't mean never making mistakes, but it does mean correcting your mistakes and moving forward without excuses. If you're not true to yourself, no one else will be. The question is, when are you going to start honoring your own promises? Look in the mirror right now. What do you see? I'm not just talking about your appearance, but what's behind it. Do you see yourself as someone who is disciplined, determined, and committed to your dreams? Or do you see excuses, procrastination, and accumulated regrets? The truth is right in front of you, but most people choose to look away. It's easier to blame others, luck, or circumstances than to admit that the biggest barrier to your growth is yourself. Waking up late, avoiding challenges, and not putting in the effort all come at a price. And that price is the life you're missing out on. Stop fooling yourself. If your reality isn't what you'd like it to be, do something about it. There's no point waiting for a magical change, because it will never come. There's only one way out of this situation: facing the truth and taking action. Are you ready for this? Discipline isn't a punishment, it's a gift you give yourself. But for many, it seems like torture. Giving up laziness, distractions, and immediate pleasure, all of this seems difficult, but it's exactly what separates the winners from those who just dream. If you can't control yourself, then the world will control you. And guess what? The world doesn't care about your success. Want to change your life? Then stop making excuses. No TV, no junk food, no social media stealing your time. Work, study, train your body and your mind. Demand more from yourself. It will hurt at first, but this pain is the building of your new version. Discipline is the price of growth. The question is, are you willing to pay it, or will you continue living as a hostage to your own weakness? The comfort zone is a dangerous place. It seems safe and familiar, but in reality, it is a prison in disguise. You get used to mediocre routines, to a job that doesn't challenge you, to relationships that don't make you grow. The problem? The longer you spend in this state, the harder it becomes to get out. You start to believe that this is the only possible reality, when in fact, you are just accepting less than you deserve. The life you want is outside this bubble. To achieve it, you need to face discomfort, make difficult decisions and abandon habits that hold you back. Growth happens in the unknown, in what scares you, but also strengthens you. So, will you continue to be stuck in what is comfortable, or will you challenge yourself to discover how far you can really go? If you think it is impossible to change, look around. How many people have come from rock bottom to achieve the unimaginable? People who have lost everything, who have been rejected, who have heard no 1,000 times, but decided to keep going. The difference between them and those who fall by the wayside is not luck, but persistence. Life is full of examples of overcoming, but it is up to you to decide whether you will be an inspiration or just a spectator. Someone, somewhere, has already gone through what you are going through now and managed to overcome. This means that it is possible for you too. But the question is, are you willing to pay the price? Stories inspire, but action transforms. So, are you going to wait for success to knock on your door, or are you going to build your own story of overcoming? Without hope, life becomes a repetitive cycle of frustration and conformity. Have you ever seen someone truly happy without a purpose? People who lose faith in change become prisoners of resignation, accept less than they deserve and live on autopilot. But hope is not about waiting for something to fall from the sky. It is about seeing possibilities where others see barriers. Having a purpose changes everything. It gives meaning to your actions and transforms effort into something greater than just routine. When you know why, how becomes just a matter of time and dedication. The question is, what drives you? If you don't know yet, you need to find the answer. Without purpose, any path will do, and that is the recipe for a life without direction. The best athletes, business people, and leaders in the world didn't get where they are just through talent or luck. What really sets them apart is mental strength. When everything seems to be falling apart, when the body is exhausted and difficulties appear, it is a strong mind that makes the difference. Without it, any challenge becomes an excuse to give up. With it, every obstacle becomes just another step on the climb to success. Your comfort zone wants to keep you weak, but your mind can take you further. This requires training, it requires enduring pain, it requires reprogramming your thoughts to act despite fear. It's not about ignoring difficulties, but about facing them with courage. In the end, the question is not whether life will challenge you, because it will. The question is, are you mentally prepared to overcome? What enters your mind shapes your reality. If you feed yourself with negativity, bad news, and defeatist conversations, your life inevitably reflects that. Limiting thoughts create an invisible prison, where you believe you can't go any further. But when you start consuming content that strengthens you, inspiring books, stories of overcoming, and practical knowledge, your worldview changes. Want to change your life? Start by changing what you put into your mind. Read books that expand your thinking, listen to people who have already gotten where you want to go. If all you absorb are empty distractions, don't be surprised if your life seems aimless. You are what you consume. So, what have you been feeding your mind lately? The pain you avoid today is the same pain that keeps you stagnant. The discomfort of leaving your comfort zone, the frustration of failing, the fatigue of trying harder than usual, all of this seems difficult, but it is exactly what makes you stronger. Those who run away from pain, run away from growth. True transformation happens when you decide to endure discomfort and use it as fuel for your evolution. Life will not get easier, but you can become stronger. Every adversity you face is a brick in the construction of your new version. Face your challenges head-on, stop running away, and accept that the path to change involves sacrifice. If pain is inevitable, at least let it serve to take you to a new level. The question is, will you continue to avoid it or will you use it to grow? If you knew what you were truly capable of, you would never accept a mediocre life again. But the problem is that most people see themselves through the lens of fear and insecurity. You underestimate your strength, ignore your potential, and settle for less because you think that is your limit. But the truth is that there is much more inside you than you imagine, you just need to wake up to it. Regardless of your current situation, there is still energy within you to change everything. You have unexplored ideas, undeveloped talents, skills waiting to be honed. The only thing missing is the decision to act. Don't waste your life living below what you could be. Are you ready to find out what you're really made of? Now that you've come this far, the final question is, what are you going to do with it? You can simply go about your daily routine as if nothing has changed, or you can decide that today is the day your life starts to take a new direction. The choice is yours. Will you continue sabotaging yourself, running away from discomfort and postponing your goals? Or will you finally take action and become the person you've always wanted to be? Stop waiting for the perfect moment, because it will never come. Change starts now, with small daily actions that accumulate great results. If this video made sense to you, if any word awakened you, then this is your sign. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications and follow more content to strengthen your mind and transform your reality. But remember, no one can change your life for you. This responsibility is yours alone.